يا الله السلام يا الله المؤمن يا الله المهيمن يا الله العزيز يا الله الجبار يا الله المتكبر يا الله المتكبر يا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله الخالق يا الله البارئ يا الله المصور يا الله الغفار يا الله القهار يا الله الوهاب يا الله الرزاق يا الله الفتاح يا الله العليم يا الله العليم يا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله.
Jazakallah for our young superstar there, Hassan. MashaAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect him from Buri Nazar. He has such a lovely, enchanting voice. And now we go towards our main presentation of this 3-day spiritual retreat. I'm just checking, are we live online now? Jazakallah. Jazakallah for all the online participants for rejoining. We are heading straight into the main presentation for this 3-day retreat, and this next session will highlight to you and set the stall, as they say, as to what to expect in the next 3 days. Why are we here? Why it's important to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and why are we dedicating the next 3 days to teach you to do that. And inshallah you will see in this next session that what for you to expect, and there's a lot to learn over the next 3 days, and there's some misconceptions that will be cleared as regards to our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what we should be doing and should not be doing. So without further ado, I would like to hand over to Imam Qais to lead the next session on the setting the expectations of this retreat for the next 3 days. Jazakallah.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Amma ba'du, fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. صدق الله العظيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد. We begin by praising the One, the Exalted, the Great, the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we beseech Allah Azza wa Jal that in this session and in this retreat that He showers His everlasting peace and blessings upon the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially in these days and in these nights, as we as human beings, or any creation, let's just put it this way, owe everything unto the beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So not just in this retreat, but forever and ever, but especially because this retreat, as you can see, the title is being absorbed in the everlasting love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is all about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how we can come to connect to Him. How we can come to connect to Him. Now, let me just tell you is that imagine the being who created us, who gave us existence, who gave us life. He is the one who is sent on the face of the earth. He is the one who has actually sent prophets and messengers for us to be guided. He is the one who loves us more than our mother, 7 times more. We try to learn and we try to connect to other things, other organizations, other institutes, so that we can benefit and we can actually, so that we can benefit. So that we can benefit and we can actually come to know our abilities and also come to know our limitations, but more importantly, so that we can actually better ourselves and prosper. But this being, He created us without us choosing, without us asking, without us actually even having a choice whatsoever. It was unconditional that He created us. This being, He created unconditionally. In that unconditional love and unconditional way that He created us, that how do you think that being who is seeing us, who is with us in the manner just with sifat and qualities, and is hearing us, how do you think He is actually going to respond to the fact that there is a retreat specially dedicated to what? To come to know about Him. There is a retreat, a 3-day retreat, which is specifically dedicated to come to know about Him, to come to connect with Him, to come to love Him, to come to absorb yourself in His love, to come to connect to His sifat and qualities. How do you think He would respond? That being, the Almighty, the Exalted, who has created us unconditionally, how do you think He would respond for us either accepting or not accepting to come to the retreat? I am just telling you that there is no compulsion. What I'm just saying is that put yourself and just think is that there is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the worlds, and we are saying, oh people, oh brothers, oh people who proclaim piety, oh people who proclaim they are spiritual people, oh people, come. There is a special gathering, there is a special retreat that you can come and come to connect with that being who sent us, who deserves to be loved, who deserves to be followed, who deserves to be praised, who deserves to be remembered. That being who sent us on the face of the earth, come and live, come and experience, come and connect with that being. If you disassociated, if you disconnected, if you've gone away, come and be with that being and come to reconnect, reinvigorate, re-energize your love and your connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Come with Him and come to do this. How do you think He would respond if you accept or reject? Especially in the days in which people can have issues. We have work, there is no work. We have family, families all around, it's not a problem. You have plenty of babysitters, baby minders. We have family, we have work, we have school, you have university, we have everything, etc., etc. All these excuses that we can have. There is not an excuse that you can possibly make in this time. And even if you say there is an excuse, I say to you is that, my dear brothers and sisters, is that this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a 3-day retreat which has been established just solely for Him. In my opinion, this is one of the greatest gatherings that you can have, because in fiqh, the greatest knowledge that a person can do is to learn about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no greater knowledge than this. In aqa'id, in fiqh, there is no. That's why Imam Hanifa rahimahullah, my Imam al-Azam, he has said, he categorized, and he said, fiqhul akbar, the greatest knowledge that you can have is about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no other knowledge that passes this. Because He is Rabbul Alameen. To know about the being who sent us on the face of the earth, to learn about Him, who He is, what does He demand from us, what does He want from us, that is the greatest knowledge that you can actually ever acquire and learn. The greatest ibadat that you can do is to come and be and learn and be in the presence and connect with Him. This is the greatest knowledge. This is the greatest time. So if this greatest knowledge, if knowledge about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so great, what do you think that knowledge which will take you to connect with Him would be? What do you think that gathering which helps you to connect with Him would be? What do you think that gathering which teaches you not just to connect to Him, but is also His sifat and His quality, His love? What do you think that gathering would be? And for those brothers and sisters, I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses you. But imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, an invitation has been given. Our brothers, mashallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our brother Nadeem and the marketing team. Message after message, it's like an indirect message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the malaika saying, oh brothers, oh sisters, come, where? What are they inviting me and you to? What? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for us who couldn't make the time, sincerely ask yourself, why have you not been able to make that time? What is the excuse now? Is it work? Is it children? Is it family? Is it business? What is it? Christmas Day, everything is shut. Bank holiday, most of the places are shut unless you're in the other fields of work. That's a different matter. I am saying is that even in this occasion, is that not every retreat is about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but in this specifically we are talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how we can connect with Him, His qualities, His sifat, His love. That is what we are talking about in this retreat. And for me and you, we should have seized that and gripped it and said, I am not going to miss this, no matter what. And show the Qurban. All our life we could do, we sacrifice now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command for dunya. We sacrifice His prayers for dunya. We sacrifice ibadah and worship for dunya. For once, for 3 days, or 3 nights should I say, is sacrifice the dunya for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And maybe that sacrifice, that Qurban, will help me and you to really cultivate the true love and the true connection with Him, which will enable us to flourish and prosper and really accelerate towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His pleasure. Why believe? I think I've actually mentioned this is the topic. Why should we believe? In detail, and the inner and spiritual dimension, you should be going and explained as to why you should believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, Ustaz Harun will be going through that in detail, and also Ustaz Abdul Rahim in some context as well. They'll be going in detail, but from an Aqidah point of view, He is Allah. He is the one who created us. Out of love and mercy, He created us unconditionally. in creating us, what did He do? Is that as He created us, He gave us, and I'm not going to detail here, this is not in detail, other brothers will be, other stars will be going in detail, is that in creating us, what did He do? He gave us a thing called freedom of will, an amana called freedom of will, where فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ, is that whoever wants to believe, let him believe, whoever wants to disbelieve, let him disbelieve. Whoever wants to believe, let him believe, wants to disbelieve. Allah SWT has given me and you the freedom of will. If you want to believe or disbelieve, if you want to love, you can love. If you want to disobey, you can disobey. If you want to follow, you can follow. If you want to follow shaitan, you can do that as well. Allah SWT has given that gift, has ability to me and you. He has given that ability. Now, there'll be consequences though. If you're thinking, yes, Allah SWT, He created me, He gave me existence, He gave me life, yes, I shall believe in Him, and I'm doing a great service to Allah. So no. Our belief, our ibadah, our worship, our namaz, our zakat, our everything, whatever we do, we worship, ibadah, the do's and don'ts, the command of Allah that He's given, all of this, only I benefit. I am the benefactor. I benefit myself. And if I choose the option not to follow, not to obey, then I am the one who does bad to myself. Allah SWT doesn't benefit, nor does He receive any harm from us, me and you disobeying. No. Only me and you will either benefit, or me and you will actually bring harm to myself. But why should we believe? Who has told us to believe? آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله. Is that who are the people, who are the beings who told us to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The beings who told us to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the people who said believe, I'm talking about the prophets and messengers. We're talking about those beings who never spoke a lie in their lives. Those beings who told me and you about the consequences of our actions. Those beings who said, if you look back and if you looked at every single messenger from Sayyidina Adam to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were supreme in conduct and character. They are the ones who said believe. And who is saying not to believe? Which people are telling you not to believe? You have the devil, Satan. You have Pharaoh. You have kings, evil kings and leaders. They're the ones who are saying don't believe. They're the people who are hungry for fame and name. They're the people who are exploiting and manipulating people, exploiting their wealth, exploiting their minds, exploiting the freedom that they're given, manipulating their instincts of the master to feel what? Their own desires, nobody else but their own desires. Those are the beings who are using people as a stepping to achieve their own goals. So on one side you have prophets and messengers who never spoke a lie and was supreme in conduct. Another side you have the devil, the devilish people, you have the evil leaders, you have pharaohs and all evil gangsters and leaders, and there you have on the other side, they're telling you not to believe. Now you tell me, use your common sense. You on the basis of common sense, on the basis of reasoning, anybody with a common sense will say, who should you follow? Who should you listen to? Should you listen to the prophets and messengers and the pious and the righteous? Or should I listen to Pharaoh and Shaitan and all the evil leaders and gangsters who are there? Hitler and those criminals, the disbelievers, the pop stars, the movie stars, should I listen to them or should I listen to the prophets and messengers? Only common sense dictates to me and you who should we believe and who should we follow. Those are the supreme beings who actually said, believe in Allah, and there will be consequences. There are others, there's another army that says, don't believe in Allah. Who would you want to actually listen to? Strange, there was an atheist at the time of Sayyidina Imam, Imam al-Azam. a little bit of story so that maybe you're all, maybe somebody put something in this tea and I'm probably a little bit steamed up for some reason, I don't know why. So at the time of Sayyidina Imam Hanifa rahimahullah, there was a debate with an atheist. Now look, everybody's now all sitting nicely, they're all listening for a story. Now you see, as soon as I mention story, everybody goes, okay, listen, okay, let's listen to the story. And everybody's now listening in, look at that, they're all cuddling in and listen to the story. Okay, I know you brothers and sisters, you like stories, okay. So at the time of Sayyidina Imam Hanifa rahimahullah, he was to have a debate with an atheist. A debate with an atheist. And it's about the existence of God, the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really exist? So what happened? They were to cross a river and get to the other side from one place. And in those days, in old days, to cross the river, they used boatsmen. There'd be people on the embankment, and they'd get the boat and get to the side where they'd actually meet up and debate in an area. Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, he was late. Everybody's waiting. He was late. People thinking, what's happened to Imam Sahib? How can he do this? Why is he late? So eventually Imam Sahib, he came. And the atheist asked, what took you so long? We were thinking that you got scared or some sort. What happened? He said, no, nothing happened really. It was just, I was waiting. No, how did you, all the boatsmen are here, all the boat people are here. How did you cross the river, by the way? How did you cross it? Oh, shall I tell you how I crossed? Yes, please tell us, how did you cross? What happened was that there were some trees. They fell onto the river. And as they fell, they split into some planks of wood and they formed a boat. And when they formed the boat, I went on it and they took me to the other side, and that is how I actually got to your side. He said, say that again, what you on about? He said, yeah, that's right. Are you trying to say, Imam Sahib, is that the tree itself cut itself into pieces and then it shaped itself into a boat, and then it then took you to the other side of the river when there is no boatman? Are you trying to say that? He goes, yeah, that's what happened. He goes, that is absurd. The atheist says to the Imam Sahib, that is absurd. That cannot happen possibly. You have gone crazy. How can you possibly say such a thing? He said, is that if you can't even accept a lowly thing that a tree splits into becoming a boat, then tell me about the universe and how they came to being. If you are saying that the boatsman, there needs to be somebody to shape and craft the boat, there needs to be someone there who needs to actually cut the wood into pieces and make it into a boat, and somebody needs to then take you to the other side. You tell me, oh dear atheist, oh my friend, you tell me, how did everything come into being? This world that you see before you. This is even greater matter, and you cannot accept this light matter. Debate is finished. Imam Hanifa rahimahullah was one of the greatest of the scholars. That's why they call him Azam, but we follow him. He had this countless stories they can use of him. But in everybody of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, he is the Imam of Aqa'id. He is the Imam of belief system. Doctor of Ahl Sunnah Jama'ah, he is our Imam. Not just for fiqh, but Aqa'id as well. There's countless stories, there are other stories as well that we can say, but this was a nice story for you about existence, logic, mantiq. People like to use logic to actually use and come to believe about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, existence of Allah. There's countless of belief, because why? The mind and the heart, they need to actually link together to understand and comprehend the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes what happens is that if you don't have belief, then we will discuss it, what happens. Now look at this. Look at it very carefully. Now some of you may be thinking, well, who's that chap with this nice bow tie? So, also Zoom participant, actually I haven't got Zoom actually on, I won't be able to tell, somebody will have to just tell me, is that you see these three personalities here. Now tell me, who's this person here? No, who is, what? Just say, what is his role, what is his job? Go on.
To be a comedian?
No, I don't think he's a comedian, but I think no, not a snooker, but I think this gives it away and this gives it away as well. I must say, our audience, I hope Zoom participants, you're not as bad as this, honestly. I hope you can actually see, this is actually a waiter. Maybe I should have helped you, said W there. A waiter, what is this? And we have our waiters upstairs as well who serve the food. Obviously, they're not dressed like this, but inshallah, they serve us very well as well, mashallah. So this is a waiter, okay? Now, who's this person in the middle? Let's see if everybody knows. Huh? Elon Musk, nah, mashallah. Elon Musk, everybody seems to know him. Who is he then? What does he do?
He owns SpaceX and he owns Tesla.
He's very rich then, isn't he? Yeah. He's a billionaire, mashallah. Billionaire, entrepreneur, and SpaceX and Tesla and other things, billionaire. So we have a waiter, we have Elon Musk here, everybody knows. And who's this then? I was going to choose the previous one, but that might be controversial.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. Who is he then?
President.
He's the president. What does he represent then?
The United States.
He represents the United States of America, mashallah, very good. But what does he represent?
The world. The world.
World, and what else? Power, authority. Now tell me, why, if you were to meet these people, let's say you went to a restaurant, you met this chap, hello chap, how are you, yes. How would you behave yourself with this waiter, if you were to meet him? So Zoom participants, if you can also, how would you behave? You shout out some answers. Audience, how would you behave with this chap here? I'm sounding very posh here, but how would you behave with the waiter?
Friendly.
Friendly? Okay, very much, very friendly.
Nice guy.
Okay, I'm going to choose, brother in the middle, there you go, I've got your eyes on. How would you choose, how would you behave with him?
Somebody mentioned just normal.
Just normal. What is normal?
No special treatments.
No special treatments. Why? Is he serving you food? Why shouldn't he get special treatments? Honestly, you should give him a tip at least. Go on, anybody else?
Some people might want to order him about.
Order him about, okay, that's fine. So you might show, in terms of status, what's his status then? Ooh, who said that? Goodness me, Brother Naveed. His status is low. Why do you say that? No, that's fine. There's no, don't be shy. Shamsher's got his hand up. Go on, Shamsher. Why is his status low? Why is his status low? What tells you that his status is low?
So in the worldly sense, he might be as well off.
In the worldly sense, he might not be as well off as other people, which is fair enough. Good. Zoom, what do you say? Why is his status low?
Because he's paid a low wage.
Okay, we're talking about wages here. He's paid a low wage. Okay, that's good. So the waiter, low status, low wage, may not earn as much. You can order him about, you can treat him however you want, you can give him a tip if you want, if you feel sorry for him. Okay. Elon Musk. Now then. People, shares. Come on, where are you? How would you treat him? Abid.
Tweet about Dodge.
Tweet about Dodge. What would be, if I was telling you that you're going to meet Elon Musk, how would you be, and how, I know in general sense I'm saying, how would you react and how would you behave with him?
Personally, no.
Would people treat him normal? I don't think so.
Like a celebrity.
Like a celebrity, okay. Go on, I'm going to ask our brother neighborhood Nadeem here, he knows about it now. Go, how would you treat him? Go on, brother Nadeem. Are you sure? Huh? Those shares that you got, you're just waiting for him just to give one message and that's it. He can either one word from Elon Musk, let me just tell you how influential he is. One word, one text, and one Twitter. Either he can make you a billionaire or millionaire, or he can actually destroy your millions and billions. One or the other. That's how influential he is. So I cannot believe the fact that you'll treat him normal. You would be wanting, like those people on Twitter saying, please friend me, Elon Musk, please make me your friend. Please just say one good comment about my cryptocurrency. Please give me just one thing about something, please, so that my shares can go up. You'd be pleading with him. Why? Why? It's because you know he's of his influence. Okay, Mr. Biden, how would you treat him? We'll have somebody else. Go on, Abbas, how would you treat him? Probably be careful. Good idea. You have to be careful. You'd have to be. Zoom, what are you saying? How would you treat Mr. Biden?
Same as Elon Musk, he's rich.
He's rich. Yes, he's quite rich, but he's not as rich as Elon
Somebody
Musk.
says he's terrible.
He's terrible, dear me, goodness me. I hope that wasn't Brother Majid. Or is he just secretly giving these messages? Ustad Majid, that's not, shouldn't be doing things like that, honestly. Go on, Huwaid. How would you treat Mr. Biden?
I would treat him as a normal person.
You treat him as a normal person. Go on, Huwaid, who would you?
Respect because he's got a lot of power.
Ooh, wow, mashallah. He hit the nail on the head. He's mentioned this clever word called power. He'd treat him as bread because he's got power. One finger, he could lock you up, put you into prison. Or with one finger, he can make you into a minister if he wants to. They can give you different roles. They have authority and power. Why are we now, in our minds, in our psychology, in our mindset, what we're doing? A waiter, low status. Elon Musk, high status. Biden, even greater status because of power. What's telling us this then?
Society.
One society, I'm looking for a magic word here. What's telling us all of this?
Well, dunya.
Dunya, true. Come on, Zoom. Help me out here, Zoom. True, but come on. What is telling you? How do you know about a waiter? How do you know about Elon Musk? How do you know about Biden? What is telling you?
We see these on social media. People,
True.
We see these people every day.
Yes, true. Go on. What is it that's telling you about these people?
Media.
Authority, true. But there's a simpler even more. How do you come about knowing about a waiter? What has actually told you a waiter is lowly status? What has told you about Elon Musk? What has told you about Biden?
Somebody's mentioned achievements.
Achievements, true. Think about the waiter as well. Money,
Intellect, news.
true. But what is all of these things? Social media, news. What is all of this? No? Somebody's some theorist here under control. Go on, Brother Harun.
Influence.
Human nature, true. Influence, okay.
Media.
Media, we mentioned media. Go on, Shamsher, you don't let me down. We're going to go to Hafiz Sab soon. If you let me down, I have to go to Hafiz Sab. Boltonians, please. You're presenting Bolton here now, Shamsher. Yeah, what has actually, he's under pressure now, look at that. Mention Bolton, that's under pressure. Honestly, if I mention Shamsher, just represent yourself, that's all right, no problem. Mention Bolton, this is it. The love, this camaraderie that these Boltonians have is unbelievable, honestly.
Mentioned a good one. Shaitan.
No, not necessarily shaitan, honestly. Or even there's something there. What we're saying is that you have a waiter. What is telling you his status is low? You have Elon Musk. What is this thing that's telling you about Elon Musk? You have Biden. What is that telling you? Something which is more obvious than what you're all saying.
Human conditioning.
True, but how does it come to human conditioning? I'm waiting for Shamsher to answer. No? You're letting Bolton down, honestly. I'm going to actually let you. I thought this was going to be straightforward, actually. This is why I didn't actually put any information on. Simpler.
I think we are programmed like action.
Program, true. Hafiz Sab, go on. I'm going to go to you. Go on, Karis Sab.
That's the status.
Status, yes. But how did we come to know about status? Class, how did we come to know about class? Jobs, how did we come to know about jobs? Education, how did we come to know about education? What is education?
School.
We're nearly there, come on. We're getting education. What is education? What is it teaching you? Knowledge. It is your knowledge through media, through news, social media, through papers, through interactions, through all the things. It is your knowledge that is telling the waiter through your knowledge and experience that his status is low, less paid. Your knowledge, how do you know? You read about it, you've known about it. You've been informed about it. It's your knowledge, which your capacity of your knowledge has told you waiter has a lower status. Your knowledge has told you Elon Musk is very influential. He's a businessman, entrepreneur, richest man, and one of the richest men in the world, and he has influence. His knowledge is telling you. Biden, President of America, his knowledge that he's telling you about this. Now, knowledge is important, isn't it? Now tell me about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Unlimited knowledge.
Now, what I'm trying to say here, my dear brothers and sisters and elders who are listening, is that apart from knowing that Allah SWT is our creator, apart from the fact that knowing that Allah SWT gave us life and existence, what else do we really know about Allah SWT? What else do we really, haqiqatan, what else do we really know? We know about this, about the things, about the dunya, influence and power. We will change our conduct. Because look, like my brother Huwaid, my nephew Huwaid, he said, what did he say? He said, Biden, he has power and authority, so I'll have to show respect. Who is the most powerful? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where is that knowledge? You think Elon Musk, he's influential, he's given his risk. Yes, one Twitter will make me millionaire, billionaire. Who is the Razak? Who is the Wahhab? Who is the Mutir? Who can give you all of this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we don't know. We don't really, reality is we don't know. And that is why, inshallah Aziz, in this retreat, Ustaz Haroon and others, what they will do is they'll teach us more about the 99. Ustaz Abdul Rahim will be going about the name Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what it means, what it demands, and also some of the sifat and quality Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ustaz Haroon will be going, so we can come to know more about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then our attitudes, our mindset, our ways, our actions, our conduct will also change once we come to know more about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not just superficial, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created is my Lord. But really deep down, when it's embedded, when, for example, we see Elon Musk, we start to say to it, think, okay, he can benefit me. Really, when we see the name Allah, we should think he is my real benefactor. He will benefit me no matter what. But knowledge, what does it do? Belief, what does it do? In terms of having belief, the effects of belief is that belief is such a powerful thing. Human beings, what happens is that if you want to really know how a person's personality is, if you know the personality, you really need to then go back to his beliefs. You might be thinking, Brother Qais, what you know about? This is a very bubbly person, very jolly chap. There you go. What do you mean about his beliefs? Because why? Belief is such a thing. It governs and dictates your mind and what you think. Whatever you believe upon, it governs and dictates what you think. That is why we say aqaid, belief, the purpose of life and existence, all of this is part of beliefs. This will dictate how you think. It will govern how you think. And how you think and the thoughts which is embedded in your mind will then govern and dictate your actions and your deeds. So whatever deeds that you'll do, whatever action that you perform, it has been ordered by the mind because of what you're thinking. And deep-bedded in that from the mind is stemmed from belief. So belief governs and dictates your thoughts. The thoughts, whatever is embedded in your mind and heart, then dictates your actions. And whatever you do, whatever actions that you do, whatever deeds that you're performing, this then makes up your personality, your persona. This is your persona. So if a person really, now you can look at it in this way, is that this impact of belief has such a drastic impact upon a person's personality. So a person's personality can be either good or evil. Depending on what, all it goes back to belief. And that is why we say don't ever belittle. For example, you may be hearing it, for those are brothers and sisters who are actually hearing the journey of man, hearing the purpose of life. You can never hear it enough. Why? Because this is further reinforcing all of the journey of man that you see that the brothers will go through, and all of the purpose of life. All of these things is serving as what? As belief system, and actually nourishment what? For your belief, for your mind, so that then after you start believing, hey, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created me for a purpose. The reason why I'm here. He's not created out of nothing. He created for a reason. Okay, what am I here for? What do I need to do? Where am I going to go? Then your action starts changing. If you know that what I'm about to do, if I'm about to drink this bottle of alcohol, there will be consequences for me. If I'm about to miss that prayer, there will be consequences. Why? Because there is an afterlife. I will be held accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See how belief is now stopping you, hindering you, or actually helping you and aiding you towards the actions that you're going to do. So belief is fundamental. If you want to work, the do's and don'ts, for example, you want somebody to start praying, you want somebody to start fasting, you want somebody to start doing good deeds. Do's and don'ts, do this and don't do this, it doesn't work, it won't work. Why? They need incentives, they need motivation, they need incentives and motivations. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us the whole of the belief system is actually incentives and motivation. That is what it is. To motivate you, to encourage you to act out a good deed, and an incentive to refrain from a bad deed. That is what belief system does. And that is what belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does, is that this is how it shapes our persona. So if a person has a bad personality, his resultant effect will be an unsound personality, is because of the fact that he had wrong beliefs. What will happen is that this person you'll meet, you can see that he's unpredictable, he's unsound, or she's unsound personality, unpredictable, unsound personality, and that one minute the person can be an angel, and the next minute the person can be a devil. Why? Because they're free to do whatever they want to do whatever they want. They don't care. There's no consequence. So here, as you can see, there's a tornado, it's a torrent. When you have the dangers of disbelief, that effect of disbelief has upon you. I won't go into details here. But some of them, for example, a person lives a monotonous life. It's like, what's happening is that if I don't believe in Allah and Akhirah, I wake up, I educate myself, I go to school, college, university, I go to a job 5 to 9, because mundane life, I go to work, go to school, come back home, eat, sleep, and go back in that cycle again. This monotonous life. Then what happens? Because of this monotony, what happens is that it slides go deeper and deeper, they go into depression and sadness, and as if they're lifeless. They're lifeless. Why? Because there's nothing else for them to look forward to. There's no actions or consequences they have. I can see some eyes, maybe it's because of the heat, but maybe I'm getting a bit more boring here, so I better quickly, I have a barometer of certain people to look at to see if people are staying awake or not. And if I look at you and I'm looking at you, then it's me getting an indication whether actually it's getting a bit too much, or if it's the heating or such. So on, or maybe I need to be more interactive. Okay, attaching importance. What this means is that we start attaching importance to people, not upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not upon Rasulullah, not upon the pious, but upon people. That person's going to help me, that person's going to do favor me, that person's going to do this. And what happens? They then come to actually not neither help you or benefit you, rather cause harm to you. Degeneration, because what happens is that when you have religion, Imam, belief brings moral ethics and conduct. When a person doesn't believe, what happens? The moral values and ethics goes out of the window. So individual, society is made out of individual. If the societies actually have disbelief, what will happen is slowly they will also go, and that society will also degenerate as well. There is depression. Obviously, Allah says that whoever doesn't believe in Allah and seeks His pleasure, he will have a very depressed life. Because why? How can it be that if you don't believe, if you don't bring faith upon that being who's the source of all peace and happiness and source of all comfort, if he is the being who's actually going to give you all of this, if it's a case that you don't believe upon him, where is that happiness? Where is that comfort going to come from? Of course you'll be depressed. You'll also see those people who are actually lacking in belief and faith, is that they're lazy as well. there's selfishness, there's hopelessness, there's arrogance, a purposeless life. All of these things are the evil torrents, you could say, that comes with disbelief and not having faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at this. Here you go. Here's something that you can look at. What do you see here? Hassan, what do you see? A man holding a cube. What is he trying to do? He's trying to fit into a circle hole. Now this is a very tricky question here. I need you mathematicians here. I think brother, yeah, can he fit it? Brother in the red cap, sorry. Are you sure? It was about the Bakar, is it? What was it? Imran, what's your name, yeah? Atiq. Can he fit? Are you sure? Surely there must be a mathematician here who says that will fit. Javed, will this fit? No, I'm not saying you're a mathematician, but you're good at business, so it's good. Will that fit? Are you sure you can't do a Deborah Trotter job here? We can sort of fit it here. Are you sure? No? Definitely? Okay. Anybody else? Brother, yes?
Probably, but the corners, they may be too wide, so you might have to cut it a bit.
Okay, if we can't do anything, can we fit it? Anybody?
If you cut it, yes.
Yes. Anybody? We can't fit it. So no matter how much you try, you can't fit this cube into the circle, can you? No matter how much you try, you can't fit it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now let me tell you what comes to you first. I'm going to give you a series of words now. Zoom also will be ready as well. Series of words. Fish. I mentioned the word fish. What fits? And don't say Bengalis here, by the way. Okay. So the first thing you're going to say, fish. What does it fit? Where does it fit? Ocean, water. Okay, yeah? So I mentioned fish and you mentioned water. Bird. Where does it fit? I know what you're thinking about other birds, but no. Sky. Okay, sky. Bird, sky. Fish, water. Okay, let's mention lion. Where does it fit? Oh, everybody's there. I get anonymous on that one, yes. A lion in jungle, but we've got plenty of lions here as well. There's plenty of lions here. So we've got lion and jungle. Yes? All fit. Why do you say Why do you say fish fits in the sea or ocean? Why do you say bird in the sky? Why do you say lion in the jungle? What's the reason behind it? Nature. What do we mean by that as well?
It's where the mainly are.
It's where the mainly are. Okay. What we're trying to say is that why is it in the ocean? Why is it in the sea? Why is it in the jungle? Why is it being placed there? What's the reason?
Responses on Zoom, that's where they belong.
That's where they belong, yes.
Natural habitat.
Natural habitat's true. Why have they been put there though?
They've been designed
They've been designed
to fit that.
fit that. Good. Actually, you're getting closer. That's good.
Fit that environment.
And they've been designed to fit the environment. There's another word I'm looking for.
Yeah, somebody mentioned fish fits with chips.
I knew somebody would say this. And the first thought would be when we mentioned fish would be Bengalis, but we got away from that one. So now the other person I thought they might say chips as well. Go on with that one. Allah created for that purpose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the fish a purpose to be in the sea. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the bird a purpose to be in the sky. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the lion a purpose, not to be Nelson and Hyde and Bolton, by the way, but in the jungle. Okay, to be in jungle. Okay, to be in the jungle. All the Nelsons, the Shire, they're all lions here. They're all roar at me, honestly. To be in the jungle for a purpose. Okay, human being, where does he fit?
Jannah.
True.
In a home. In a home.
In a home, true. Human beings. Who's gone? Faisal gone? Earth, true. True. Where does human being fit? But really, it's not true as well. And Jannah technically is not true as well. But go on.
In the worship of the Creator.
In the worship of Creator, very close, mashallah, very good. Where does human being? When I mention human being,
Zoom have got it right. So
go on, Brother Zafar. Zuma got it right. Go on.
with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even Jannah really is just a manifestation, but really with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Human being has a purpose. Human being has a purpose which Allah SWT created him for. And for that, again, I say is that Zoom participants and also people in the retreat, in detail, Ustaz Harun will go through that, inshallah Aziz, about the purpose of human being and what we fit for. Here is that human being doesn't fit with anything else or anyone else. What does it fit? Here does it fit with? He only fits with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He, she, only fits with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What happens, you see, let's say for example, He has given us a purpose. He has given life and existence. He has given us a purpose in life. Now what's happened is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created me, who gave me life and existence. By that fact, or the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created me, if I know that if I give myself to another person, to another creation, to another human being, he can't create me. If I were to die, he can't give me life again. If I was to lose something, he can't give me anything again. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created me. He knows me better than anyone else and everyone else. He knows me better. So naturally, intrinsically, just by the fact the being who created me, gave me existence and life, he knows me better than anyone else and everyone else. I fit more with him than anyone else and everyone else. You know, you say, Marajan, I'm going to give my life for this person. Why? Why would you want to give life for that person who can't give you life? All those Romeos and Juliets, I'll give my heart. You get your electrical sword out and then that's it. Hide in Allah, I'm going to kill this person, that person. I'll give my life for this. I'll give my thingy for this. But that person, that being cannot give you life if you were to die. That person, that being doesn't know you like Allah knows you. That person, that being can betray you, but Allah will never betray you. Allah is the one that we fit with. Allah one, other people, less with the creation, your parents will want something from you. Your wife will demand something from you. Your children will want something from you. Your friends, colleagues, bosses, all of these people want something. Allah is want free, need free. He doesn't want anything from, not even our worship. Wouldn't you say that being who doesn't want anything from me, but he just loves me for who I am? Then I fit with him, not with the creation. I fit with him and not with the creation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, who's had a birthday recently? Just put your hands up. Not that I'm going to give you any presents, by the way. So, who's had a birthday? Did somebody had a birthday recently? I know there's one person here. There you go. Brother Wasim had a birthday recently. How did people... Now let me just go to Brother Wasim. The cameras on Wasim now, Brother Wasim. Brother Wasim? No, we're not going to go that. That's a bit insensitive. Brother Wasim, did everybody remember that it was your birthday? I'm sorry, by the way, I forgot about it as well. No, did you feel happy that people forgot? But you'll be saying, I'm not bothered. But read deep down, do you feel happy when someone says happy birthday like Brother Afzal did on Facebook? Yeah? And the birthday cake that the family gave you, you felt happy, yeah? But you think, I have so many friends, but they forgot. It might be your birthday. It might be an anniversary. It might be a school do, whatever. It might be something important that you do with friends, etc. We forget. But guess what? Allah SWT never forgets. Human beings and creation can forget. He never forgets. So we fit with him. We fit with Allah SWT because he never forgets. My mother, my father, my children, my friends, my colleagues, they can forget. Then Allah SWT never forgets. Oh yaar, why don't you understand me? People say, yeah, I understand. No, whoever says, let me just say, Imam Ahmad Zuruq rahimahullah, Sayyidina Ahmad Zuruq rahimahullah, he mentioned is that whoever says, I understand, really they never understand. You have people, no matter what, people try to sympathize, they try to know, you're going through something, you're going through an experience. and you have somebody and you relate to them and they go, yeah bro, I understand, yeah I understand. Sister, yeah sister, yes I understand, yeah. Really they can't understand. Reality is they can't understand. Why? Because Imam Zarruq rahimullah, one of the mashayikh of Tareeqah, they have said is that whoever will say I understand, really understand. Why? Because they don't know you. They've not gone through the same, they're not made up in the same psychology and setup and environment as you, and they truly will not understand unless they go through themselves fully in every single second. Still then, there may be a slight difference of emotions there. So nobody really truly ever understands you. Let me just put it this way. But guess what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has designed you, who has fashioned you, who has gave you this makeup, your every single ounce of the body, every single psychology, mindset, every single thought that goes to your head, He is aware. The feeling that goes to your heart, He's aware. He understands you, me and you. Others don't understand. So when we turn to somebody else, really there is no solace better than actually confiding in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He understands. You try to make people misunderstand. Husband and wife, they misunderstand. You say something, you say red, wife sees green. You think, what is going on? I'm saying red, but she mistook me for green. You open your mouth, you say something, she takes it as an argument. I'm not saying that there's arguments in the house. I'm just saying that this is what happens. Friends, when you want to misunderstand, you misunderstand. You try to, although this misunderstanding happens between friends, misunderstanding happens between relationships, misunderstanding happens between colleagues. You try to explain, but they're not understanding. They think you're coming from a negative way, really trying to be positive. They can't understand you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala understands me and you. So we fit with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more with Him than any other creation. There are many things I can go on, but in other words, summary is that our greatest purpose, our greatest maqsood azam should be to seek the pleasure of Allah. That is where we fit. That is our purpose. That is why we've been sent on the face of the earth. Not with dunya, not with family, not with wealth, not with business, not with status, not with creation whatsoever. We only fit with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and no one else. It's just like a fish cannot exist out of the sea. Really, without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what are we? We are nothing. Without Allah, we are nothing, we are dead. But with Allah, we have everything. So we actually really fit with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and no one else. And that is something that you all should go away and ponder deeply. That I am giving my life towards a business, what am I getting? I'm giving my time to my colleague, what am I getting? I give my time to my family, my children. But the thing is, reality is, yes, they have rights. They have rights indeed and fulfill their right. But then to completely go and abandon the greatest maqsad, which is achieving Allah's pleasure, that is your primary purpose, primary maqsad should be there at the forefront of your head and everything that you do. When you're serving family, when you're at work, when you're studying, when you're earning livelihood, your prime maqsad is what? At the forefront of your mind is that I am here to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with my family, I'm here to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in my work, I'm here to please Allah in my business. Even when you're giving dawah, I'm here to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is who I fit with. Most importantly, that what do we do to attain belief? We have to say the kalima La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just to finish off here, is that the kalima La ilaha illallah, these are all taken from, by the way, the teaching of our beloved teacher Shaykh Ahmad al-Bagh. May Allah subhanahu bless them further and may Allah subhanahu shower them with more knowledge and wisdom and open more views and blessings so that we can actually enlighten and benefit more and more. That these words and these teachings, as you can hear, has such profound effects upon the heart and the mind that a person really will find peace and serenity hearing those words. These are words which I'm just repeating, and I'm finding peace because of the fact I'm repeating the words of our teacher. Not exact words, but at least they're teaching. So what to say is that if we then implement that teaching into our lives. So here really, these are pearls of guidance and wisdom that our beloved teachers actually gathered them together so that me and you can really truly understand and keep ourselves motivated so that we can achieve the real purpose in life, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure, and not fall for the dunya and not fall for those traps which shaitan has laid upon us. So they summarized, they said that La ilaha illallah is really La ilaha illallah. If you really want to have done this, how much wisdom and knowledge I have, is really teaching you the purpose of our life. La ilaha illallah is the purpose of our life. Another time they said is that La ilaha illallah, whole of the summary of the Quran can be found in La ilaha illallah. And Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is what is telling you, is teaching us how we can achieve that purpose. How we can achieve that purpose. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam, through his body, through his mind, through his heart, through his spirit, through his spending, through his dealing, through his interaction, through his marriage, through his battles, with every aspect and facet of his life, he showed us how we can achieve La ilaha illallah, the real purpose of our existence. That is the reality. So if you want, brothers and sisters, you're all very knowledgeable people, look at the wisdom of Shaykh Ahmad Dabagh, that they said is that the summary of the purpose is La ilaha illallah, of our life is La ilaha illallah. The summary of all the Quran, it said, it can be found in La ilaha illallah, and the summary of all the hadith can be found in Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if you want Quran and Sunnah, that's why we say Afdal al-Dhikr, La ilaha illallah. The greatest of the remembrance, greatest of learning, the greatest of learning and remembrance that you can do is La ilaha illallah. And that is what we should all gonna learn, what it means, how to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how to connect to His sifat, and then more importantly in this retreat what we're going to be talking about is how we can actually actualize and manifest that into our lives. Connect to different sifat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For example, if I was to mention, let's say for example, if we were to mention a horse, you will all depict the horse, you'll say the description of the horse, you can tell me the color of the horse, its weight, its size, and so on and so on. Here is that we just come to know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His Zati name Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'll come down more about this. But He also has sifats and qualities we should come to know, and by learning that, we'll come to know more about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and by coming to know more of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then our actions, our attitudes and values will also change for the better. Lastly, is that what else we're doing is that here, as you can see, is an overview of what you'll be taught in this retreat. One of the other beautiful aspects that we'll be learning is what? First and foremost, how can we connect? There are three keys which Ustaz Zafar is going to be mentioning, how we can connect the three keys of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how we can connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After connecting, what can we do is how then can we be in the presence? After being in the presence, then how can we communicate munajat? How can we talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How can we converse with Him? Where one is, like all of you now, what am I doing? I'm speaking, you're listening. Munajat, conversation is, I speak, you then also give a reply. Inshallah Aziz, in this retreat, you'll have this wonderful exposition and experience in which you learn how you can come to connect the sifat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then how you can then converse with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sitting in this place, in your homes, wherever you are, and then speaking to whom? Not Elon Musk, not Biden, not the Queen, not the President, nobody else but the kings of the king, who is Ghani, who is the rich, his khizan, his treasure is endless. To Him, the one and only who gave His life and existence unconditionally without me and you asking for it. To converse with the originator, Badi'us Samawati wal Ard. To communicate with him and speak to him. And I will say, like I said, is that if knowledge, learning about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a greater than knowledge, then what to say about speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What you say about that? Being able to speak and converse. That it must be the greatest of the gatherings. And that is true, because that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did to His beloved. He took him all the way to Miraj. And what happens? It was a conversation, a meeting between two beloveds. And me and you, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also wants me and you to also experience that meeting with Rabbul Alameen and converse with Him and speak with Him, love Him, know Him, not worship Him in a ritualistic way, but worship Him in a higher level. Worship Him in a level in which you're seeing Him, as though you're seeing Him. You're feeling His presence. And this is what we're going to hopefully try and attain in this retreat. Have I mentioned everybody? Also, I'm going to go back. 99 is Allah, inshallah, says of the Rahim. We'll be going through the name of Allah, what does the name of Allah mean, and its implications. Also, it says Sajid will be going through, okay, you know about Allah, you want to connect. What do we have to do then? We have to have a way, a rasta, a way in which we can do that. He'll be talking about Qul in kuntum tuhibbuna Allah fattabi'uni yuhibbukum Allah, is that say if you love Allah, we say we want to love, yes, we say we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fattabi'uni, how to follow the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love me and you. So if we want to really love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ustaz Sajid will inshallah go through in detail how we can actually become really truly allow the love of Allah to come to us, His maghfirah, His rahmah to fall upon us by following the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how we can do that. That will be an exposition will given by Ustaz Sajid. And then inshallah these two topics here, divine love and purpose of creation and purifying the desires of the nafs, the divine will be developed by Ustaz Harun, talking about our real purpose in life. And the reason for our existence, why Allah created, and our purpose of life, why we have been created, and then how we can learn to attach and connect ourselves towards the sifat and quality of Allah Ta'ala, and how we can then manifest that into our lives. And also how we can start the communion, munajat with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anytime, not just waiting for the last portion of the night, but any moment in your prayer, in your ibadah, in your worship. If you're sat in your car, why not? You got the access. Is Allah on the busy? Never. Na'uzubillah min dhalik. He's always free. If my servant asks of me, Ana qareeb, I am indeed close. If you ask me, if you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you want nearness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I am near to you, my servant. I am here. If the servant calls, Labbaik ya abdi, what is it that you want, my servant? I am present. The thing is, me and you are not asking, me and you are not calling, me and you are not connecting. And hopefully in this retreat, you learn about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and our purpose, learn how to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His qualities, learn how to be in His presence and have communion, and learn how to reflect and manifest His quality into our lives. That is what we hope that you achieve in this retreat. And from me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all the asatidh, but for me, this is one of the greatest retreats you can do. Because why? Because it's all about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And truly, you're blessed people that you've shown and demonstrated Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Rabbal Alameen. There was a message going out that who wants to connect, who wants to reflect, who wants to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I put my hand up, I am here, Ya Rabbal Alameen. What do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to do? So you think about it. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. I hope I haven't bored you to death with my monotonic voice, but anyway, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. and enable us all to benefit from this retreat. I'll now hand you over to Ustaz Zafar, and inshallah he'll then make a few more announcements.
Jazakallah, as just echoing what I said earlier, the most important retreat ever, alhamdulillah. And we will, inshallah, after another short zikr session, where we will be doing the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where you will be fed spiritually. After that, inshallah, the brothers here will be fed physically as well. So what I would like to do is request, before we go straight into our zikr majlis next, if you can all just stand up, get some, loosen your limbs, get some blood flow going, and inshallah we'll sit down and come a bit closer as well, because I believe there's a lot more brothers who are trying to get into the room. So if you can please come towards the front and sit in nice semicircles again. And for the participants online, if you too can also get ready for zikr. And here there are certain adabs that you have to obey and follow if you are going to be in this blessed gathering of zikr, where we are going to be spiritually nourishing our spirit. And you can sit down now, inshallah. If you can come forward, please. There's a lot of gap on this side of the room, so if you can please come forward. Again, the most important thing is remembering that you are sitting in the house of Allah, and angels will be joining us in this blessed zikr gathering, and you are not just here on your own. You are blessed with so many spiritual entities you cannot see, and the biggest of all is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is watching you, sitting with you, sitting here. You are being observed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and these are the three keys that we keep mentioning. Allah is with me, watching me and hearing me. And this is the mindset that you've got to be in, and don't just be here sitting in a state of heedlessness. Really feel, connect yourself, and be actively doing the zikr. Don't just switch off, put those phones away, don't get distracted. Even if the phone is on vibration, it will distract you. So inshallah, we'll now sit quietly and wait for our Honorable Imam Qais to lead the session. Is there something you wanted to say? Yeah? Okay. So if we can now read Durood Sharif silently and get ready, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم. لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما إليك خير الخلق كلهم محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم فاعلم أنه لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا 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 الله 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 إلا الله غفور يا غفور
غفور يا غفور يا غفور. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو. عالم الغيب والشهادة عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم. هو الرحمن الرحيم. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو. الملك القدوس السلام. الملك القدوس السلام. الملك القدوس السلام. الملك القدوس السلام. المؤمن المهيمن العزيز. المؤمن المهيمن العزيز. المؤمن المهيمن العزيز. المؤمن المهيمن العزيز. الجبار المتكبر. الجبار المتكبر. الجبار المتكبر. الجبار المتكبر. سبحان الله عما يشركون. هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور. 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 له الأسماء الحسنى. له الأسماء الحسنى. يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض. يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض. وهو العزيز الحكيم. 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 وهو الغفور الودود. وهو الغفور الودود. وهو الغفور الودود. ذو العرش المجيد. ذو الجلال والإكرام. وهو الغفور الودود. ذو العرش المجيد. ذو الجلال والإكرام. وهو وهو الغفور الودود وهو الغفور الودود وهو الغفور الودود ذو العرش المجيد ذو الجلال والإكرام ذو الجلال والإكرام أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله أستغفر الله أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد 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 صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم السلام عليك السلام عليك السلام عليك السلام عليك يا شفيع المذنبين يا شفيع المذنبين يا شفيع المذنبين صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم السلام عليك السلام عليك السلام عليك السلام عليك يا رحمة للعالمين يا رحمة للعالمين يا رحمة للعالمين السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين يا ربي لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك يا ربي لك الشكر كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك يا الله يا رحمن الرحيم يا مالك الآخرة. We have sat here for your pleasure, Rabbil Alameen. We have made intention to sit in your house for these days and nights, Rabbil Alameen, to learn, to come near to you, Rabbil Alameen, to learn about you, to connect towards you, Rabbil Alameen, to converse with you, Rabbil Alameen. We ask you by the blessing of this night, Rabbil Alameen, by the blessing of the hands that you love, Rabbil Alameen. Please enable us to come to know you, to love you, to worship you as you deserve to worship, Rabbil Alameen. Ya Rahman ad-Dunya al-Akhirah, we are your lost servants. We are lost in this dunya. We are lost in deep entrenched in sin, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We are so far away from you, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Help us to reconnect and find our way towards you, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Help us to remember you. Help us to remember with our tongues, with our minds and our hearts, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Help us to converse with you, with our hearts, with our bodies, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim. Help us to be obedient towards you, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim. Malik al-Akhirah. Send your liberty, peace and blessing upon your beloved Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, upon his family, his companion, Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Rahman, for all our brothers and sisters who are ill, who are bedridden, Ya Rabbi, please grant the shifa al-kamila. For those brothers and sisters who are in a problem and need, Ya Rabbi, please remove their problem and fulfill their lawful hajat and needs, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Rahim, Malik al-Akhirah. There are so many people who are passing the day and night, Ya Rabbil Alameen. So many people are going back towards you, Ya Rabbil Alameen. One day it will be out, and Ya Rabbil Alameen, help us to go in a state that you would be pleased with, not in a state that you displease, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, help us to go in a state in ruku or sajda or tilawat al-Quran or any something good, Ya Rabbil Alameen, not doing something evil and disobedient, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Malik al-Akhirah. You are the all-giving, you're the all-knowing, you're the all-wise, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Help us, Ya Rabbal Alameen, to defeat shaitan and nafs from our lives, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Help us to rectify this nafs of ours, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Whatever obstacles that lies that is hindering us from going towards you, Ya Rabbal Alameen, please remove those obstacles and hindrances, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Help us to combat the desires, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Help us to gain control of our evil desires, Ya Rabbal Alameen. And help us to nurture this nafs of ours, to reconnect and rekindle that love towards you and make it realize that you are the greatest love, you are the greatest want, you are the greatest desire, you are the greatest purpose, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Wa sallallahu khairu khalqi, Ya Rabbal Alameen, by the fadl and grace, Ya Rabbal Alameen. We are sat here, all of us, only because our beloved teacher, Rabbal Alameen, who has taught us this path, who has taught us this way, send your khair and barakat and fairs and envelope them in your mercy and your rahmah and your blessings in every direction, in every dimension, every way, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Elevate their status and rank even more and more, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Open up more futahat and doors towards you, Ya Rabbal Alameen, upon Rasulullah, Ya Rabbal Alameen, towards our beloved teacher, Ahmad Abbagh. Bless our Mashayikh, Sayyidina Abdul Rahman, Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani, and all the Mashayikh Tareeqah Muhammadiyah. Elevate their status and rank, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Rabbal Alameen, more importantly, bless all of the Sahaba, Sayyidina Imam Ali, Sayyidina Ali, Radhatullah, Karamullah, Qadijul Kareem, and also Sayyidina Imam Hassan, Sayyidina Imam Hussein, all the Ahlul Bayt, especially our beloved Master, Sayyidina Muhammad Rasulullah, Ya Rabbal Alameen, without whom we would not know about you, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Please bless them, elevate their status even more and more, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, we are your lost servants. I say again, we are lost because if we don't have you, we are truly lost. Help us to have you and bring you into our lives, bring Rasulullah into our lives, bring the pious and righteous into our lives, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Wa sallallahu khairu khalqihi Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ameen bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.
Just a quick announcement for benefit of the Zoom participants. Just a change in our advertised schedule. We will be coming back for our next session at 10:45 and not the advertised time of 10:30. So our next session will start at 10:45. We're going to take a break now and we advise you to do the same, and inshallah we'll see you back at 10:45. Jazakallah.
ऐ खालिक मेरे लौट कर आऊंगा, मैं तेरी तरफ अपने घर